Now if you wanted to go hard, I can take almost whole Iberia in one war. And remember that subscribing to this channel will get you access and notifications on all the great content we are doing, between great challenges like double big blue blob, through the Let's Play series, to multiplayer series, or even saving current campaigns, including historical disasters. Oh boy, I'm already regretting going into that challenge. First of all, we need to fix our GAF capacity situation. You see, we are pretty much on the limit of it. So to fix it, I'm gonna destate these provinces. I should also probably destate one of those few. That fixed the situation a little bit, and I can see that I can already also concentrate the development. I'm actually gonna go through all of my provinces to see if I can concentrate anything else. And yes, there's actually a couple of states that I can concentrate, but look, it usually looks like this: 8 lost development, 1 gained. It's all about the GAF capacity, so I'm of course gonna do this. 12 lost, 2 gained, totally worth it. I think that's it. Now Saratov has 48 development, and if you take a look at the GAF capacity, it's 1271 instead of 1310, so we saved a little bit, but it's not that much. Biggest problem today is to get into Europe and conquer everything here. And I want to do it with a few big wars with tons of gas expansion, but before I do that, there's not that much of the rush. So I can focus first on getting some more bonuses to the conquest. So I will go after Mecca first of all to get the war score cost versus other religions. I need to go after Spain to get Malta forts, which is another war score cost with other religions, and of course the Alhambra, which is additional 5% admin efficiency. With this and with this mission with another 10% admin efficiency, I can truly go after Europeans. But first I need to get those few bonuses, and I also have to clear the borders in Asia to work on economy as well as our GAF capacity, and also clearing our trade companies, because previously, you remember, I was adding whole trade nodes to a trade company because I had a lot of GAF capacity. Right now it's not the case, so I'm deleting all the provinces that are not trade centers out of it, and I'm also adding the new ones from the terrains that I conquered. This way you have 19 total merchants thanks to this trade company, so maximum gains out of these provinces without actually stating them. We also keep hitting the diplo points cap, so as you remember, we just use that to start converting all of the cultures. And the thing with the cultures, you can see I have out of these green islands. If you convert a province that is bordering your accepted culture, that's gonna be already 25% cheaper to convert. That's why everything is going to be changed to Mishar. This is cheaper, this is cheaper, this is cheaper. That's very easy and very cheap in our case. While I'm still fighting with the Mamluks, I'm gonna attack Khmer already, which is allied to Ayutthaya, so it's gonna be a big and tough war. Yes, they have almost 100k troops here. Thanks to my changes in trade, we actually hit 200 of income already. Mr. Mamluks, goodbye, sleep well, and now I just need to core this province, of course after raising. Core this province and get it to level 3. In the meantime, yes, goodbye Mr. Khmer. That's gonna be a lot of, I guess, expansion here, so we need to be fast, we need to act fast. Luang Prabang, it has to be our next goal, which is actually allied to Khmer, and it's not a bad news, because, okay, I can't core those provinces for Khmer, but I will be able to white piece them once I just rush the fort down over here. It's 300 defenders. Breach the walls, rush the fort, and I think that should be really enough to send them the white piece. Good night, Mr. Khmer. That was very nice shortening the truce with you, so I can now focus on Luang Prabang. As another part fighting with the GAF capacity, I'm gonna go and start exploiting development for my provinces, which will not only help with the GAF capacity, but also with our money situation, so we'll be having money to actually upgrade the monument in Mecca. 150 overextension, not a problem. Let me fully next Udege and get it to over 220. I heard you love nasty peace deals. That's what I'm doing on VG. 137% overextension because I already have the 5% bonus to the province war score cost from this monument, and soon we are gonna get this on level 3. This is nasty because I focused over here on taking all of the trade centers, so possibly I could get another merchant over here. As I'm hitting the what the hell is this? As I'm hitting the points cap, I'm gonna develop the institution. Ideally I would like to do it in my capital, but it costs too much. It's all about the GAF capacity, right? So let's do it in the capital set. We have pretty easy choice. It's only Canada. So let me get the dev cost in it and spend most of our mill points. Well, just in general, I think power points, because each of power point is fairly needed. I think diplo points are the least needed. present, I think it's not gonna be enough to embrace, but once it's spread to those other two provinces, it's gonna be enough. It's spreading 5 monthly and 3.7 monthly. We've played in this session already how much? I think it was 10 or 8 years. And this 10 years, I've played in 2 hours of pure gameplay. That's how slow, that's how much it's happening in this type of a campaign. Embrace the institution, and that brings us very close to unlock the new idea group very soon. And I should get to 5,000 ducats, so that will take 2 loans to start upgrading Mecca, and of course with all the money that I'll be getting, I'll be spinning this up. And this might be the most important current reform for any horde, raising power gain plus 33%. This is gonna be absolutely broken. There goes this beauty tick. Wait 1 day, province war score cost minus 10%, and if we go to the war with Ayutthaya, you'll see how much that allows me to take in 1 war. Look at this, 175% overextension 1 war. We don't care, just take it. That's 256, but we have to raise all of those provinces anyway. As we're hitting admin points cap, I can, yes, take the 14th tech 120% ahead of time, and that will unlock me the new idea. And this is not an easy choice, because I can even go for offensive, for the great policy together with humanist ideas, and of course siege ability, force limit and this discipline, or I can go for exploration to actually set the new war, so I'll be able to conquer it. I will start with offensive ideas now, in case if I'll really need to explore a new world by myself, I'll just change the ideas in the future. We'll be definitely having enough mana to do that. Am I so cute that everyone like an access from me? No, it's just a big chunk of a war in Europe happening right now, which is obviously a religious war. I love it, and I'm gonna use this opportunity, not yet for my giant European war, but to attack the Ottomans, but I need to gather troops to deal with them first. 1000 provinces, there we go, by 1561. I guess we can do it far faster, but I'm proud of this achievement. I'm so sorry, Mr. Japan, I have to do this kind of a peace deal, so your war score cost is 112. This is not a problem, I'm gonna decrease my truce with them by war with Yamana. This war allows me to get the siege ability from offensive ideas, as well as a higher force limit. I'm also definitely not ready for the war against the Ottomans, but I'm counting on the fact that they are currently at war with half of Europe, and we need to use it against them, because otherwise they have 250k troops. I have around 120k, 110k over here, which has to be enough. Ottomans fighting a gigantic war in Europe? Not a problem, they can just send 130k of the troops straight away to the Mongal Empire, because it was just waiting for that. Okay, we have to see the equality of the Ottoman army. They have 14-4, 18 stacks, and I'm really counting that yes, this 35,000 is not gonna reinforce them. Never mind, they changed their mind, but can we wipe this army before they reinforce? There's not a chance. There's not a chance they'll be here on time, but they're still fighting without a general, so stop reinforcing this battle. That's 5 war score for us, and a lot of the troops dead. Last offensive idea is not only discipline, so it's 115, but also a policy for stability of the country, years of separatism and national unrest. Send the peace, create a claim on Spain, and right away declare a war on them, because France at this moment is not willing to help them. We need to get another monument in Malta for the province war score cost, and another over here for the additional admin efficiency. Evangelical Union is victorious. Not even an unholy alliance between Ottomans and Austria could save the Catholics in Europe. And it's also unlucky that it ended so early, because France is gonna help Spain. I guess I'm gonna kill them both. And as we have a new emperor, almighty Zlewikk, I can very easily dismantle the HRE. They have alliance with 2 electors, Brandenburg and Mainz, so I just have to ally the 4 other electors, declare war on the Brandenburg, and end the HRE. As I'm a man of my word, Mr. Brandenburg, I'm gonna declare on them. So now we need to occupy 3 capitals: Berlin, Brunswick, and Mainz. Good night, Mr. HRE, it was very nice to meet you. That will be far easier to conquer the provinces in Europe. And this peace deal is still a lot of aggressive expansion, so I'm not gonna fully annex Brandenburg, but we'll take half of it, as we will be slowly getting ready for the big push inside Europe. Religions in Europe are actually not bad, because Central Europe is either Reformed and Protestant, while the big powers are on the other religions. France and Castilla Catholic, England is Anglican. That will be very helpful to balance aggressive expansion before I go full all in into Europe. To minimize aggressive expansion I will be getting in Europe, I'm trying to ally more or less bigger nations over here, so that's gonna be England, that's gonna be Friesland, and that's gonna be Switzerland. French quality is actually worse than ours. They have 105, 115 discipline for us, 4.4 versus 4.1 morale, so they're just getting devastated in a 1v1 battle. Minister Spain, what is your war score cost? 183%. Let's declare the war, it's gonna be show superiority, and let me call all of my allies in Europe to take them down quicker. This is gonna be a very interesting war, and at the same time I'm clearing the borders in Indonesia. Mr. Portugal, let me see your army quality. Can I wipe your 35,000 on the mountains as a horde? Close. It might sound funny, but my main source of additional money to spend is corruption, because I have 3,500 from that, and then I just go to the region and decrease it back to 0 and have plenty of money, and this time I'm actually planning to use it on one of the monuments, and actually thinking of using it for the Winter Palace, because getting -2 national analysts at level 3, which would be very useful for what we are doing, or at least to get it on level 1, because on level 1 it's just -1, which is just 1,000 of costs. Quickly speed this up, and this is definitely helping with the national stability. Whereas of the money I'll actually invest on the soldiers' households, on those few provinces that are still stated by us, so this way we maximize our manpower, but anyway plenty of it is just coming from the slacking for the amount of the mana that we are having. Now if you wanted to go hard, I can take almost whole Iberia in one war, but this is 300 overextension, I can deal with it, but also 360 aggressive expansion, so whole Europe would be able to get into the coalition. I plan to fight with the whole Europe, but not yet. I need a little bit more of time of preparation, so let me clear this offer, and instead I will go for the Muslim provinces that cost far more war score. I will have to take them anyway in the future, but this is also less aggressive expansion in Europe, so I can just clear my borders in Africa first, and then we'll be able to more focused on Europe. Send the peace deal. We can deal with it. Right, we can. Papal State just called a crusade on us!
Oh no! Anyway,
let's just go and peace out Tunis to fully annex them. Each of the West Africans was allied to each other, so I had to break the alliances. So once I got Timbuktu down and wait those 5-6 years of truces, I will take all of them in pretty much one big push. I want to start what we'll call a Great European push. I'm gonna use a very great feature which allows me to call a nation of co-belligerent, and then this nation that is called as a co-belligerent will call another co-belligerent allies, and it will let me take a big chunk of Europe, but at the same time I also attack Denmark and Brandenburg and use the same strategy to conquer as many lands as possible in Europe to avoid those little nations joining the coalition, the only major ones will be left to join, with which I can control the truces. So let me declare that I don't have my troops ready pretty much yet, but if you take a look at the amount of the troops that all of those nations will have, it's absolutely nothing, and I have my allies helping. And remember, we have 6 years pretty much to take care of these wars, because in 6 years our truce with Ottomans is ending, which is a key. Same declare on Denmark, and none of the allies can help because I'm at war with all of the allies, and I can call England to help me with the navy over there. With January 1495, we have the moment where I can pick 17th admin tech, and this is giving us not only GAF capacity that I really need, but more importantly 10% admin efficiency. That's just perfect, because with this 10% admin efficiency we have already 15 with Alhambra, and once I click this mission we'll have 25. So ideally, even in the next 25-30 years, we should be able to conquer the world. And I'm gonna use this mission the moment I'll start piecing out all of those nations in Europe, and even more once I declare more wars. So I'm doing exactly the same thing with war against the Brandenburg, calling all of my allies, not for the insult, for the tribal conquest, and take a look that we are towards almost everyone in Central Europe that is not our ally, and we use that for this big push that I was mentioning, and I'll start doing it already by taking the mission Invade China. So now we are having 25 of admin efficiency, which, for example, if you wanted to annex France, 152% of the war score. If you wanted to annex Spain, 106% of the war score. If you wanted to annex England, 86% of the war score. I'll start with annexing Brunei, and this is just 60% of our extension. I could even fully annex Denmark in this war, but they have tons of the provinces in the New World and I don't have a chance to even deal with the rebels over there. So instead, I'll just leave them with one Gotland province. So this is 200 overextension. So this way we'll get all of their colonies and vision on those colonies. That's gonna be very helpful, and there will be no rebels from them, so that's even more helpful. And what I will start doing, Catholic zealots, what I will start doing, of course, besides scoring those provinces, I need to build spy network on nations like Spain and Portugal to steal the maps for the New World. You know, at least I don't have to constrain myself with any against expansion and just going all in. I know some miners are joining this coalition, but those miners will be out of the map very soon. As I'm having 270 overextension, I'm just gonna wait till September, so a few months, to core most of those provinces, so I can continue with more peace deals over here. And in a second I have 3 wars to declare. Songhai in October this year, Austria in September next year, and Ottomans in February in 2 years. And if you're wondering what's the effect of this kind of overextension, this is the effect. But the thing is, I'll be able to stop most of these rebels the moment we decrease this overextension to 150 or ish, so pretty much in September this year. See, this is what I meant, 155 overextension, almost no rebels. So all of those buildings that we're loading, they're gonna get down right now. So we just for a while won't deal peace out the nations for like, let's say 6 months to get these labor factions to 0, and then we continue with the same big expansion going on. And yeah, about the rebels, I miscalculated like usually 2 months. If the course were finished 2 months earlier, I would be not having any of those rebels. I'm gonna hurt Ottomans even more than the last time with this peace deal. Take a look at this beauty. If they get any rebels over here, there's no chance they can deal with them, and their war score cost is still huge, but it keeps decreasing. And the Great Power stamp, yeah, it's looking silly. 200 development from Friesland for top 8. Theoretically, in 1600, global trade should start. With the global trade, Age of Absolutes should be starting as well. But not in our case, because what we did, obviously have the biggest node in the world, but I'm not collecting my main node, which is Astrakhan. No, instead of that, I'm getting all of the trade to Persia in order to prevent global trade from happening. This way, we are gonna keep the war score cost versus other religions, because absolutists will not get enough absolutists to actually make it work for us in the next 20 years. If I wanted to get from this point to Hainaut, yes, I can get there, but I have to go all around through Africa, through Spain and France. I really thought that Friesland might be too big nation for me to annex, but it's 49% of the war score to do so, but it's still 128% of our extension. Dutch revolt is unfortunate, but we don't care, we have 1.2 thousand admin mana from raising the provinces, so it's fine. And Netherlands just declared the independence. I did not even core those provinces, I was in the middle of coring them. Gonna kill you! At least it got rid of the disaster, so it's actually helpful, and I'm gonna deal with them very quickly. That also decreased my overextension to just 100, which means I can go and send more peace deals. Oh guys, I'm gonna regret that. We have 145% overextension, but it's being cored really quickly. And I could get 333 overextension from France. That much provinces to war score cost we have. But I think I'm not gonna go that crazy. We don't have to. Just decrease this amount of the provinces slightly. So this way, we'll still get a lot, but not as much. And at the same time, it's gonna be also a shorter truce. So sick. Now the province war score cost is just 81%. That's 400 overextension, but let me raise all those provinces first. So this is actually 320, that's far better. But it's still a lot of rebels coming, and to prevent a lot of them from happening, I will keep increasing the output in all of these provinces. Casually taking admin tech 180% ahead of time, 15 years. Take it because we need to unlock exploration ideas, because we have to explore the world to conquer it. Another 300 of extension, which will be more like 230 after raising, but it still hurts. And Spain switching being left with a couple of provinces. I was lacking like 2 provinces to fully annex them, which is fine because I'm really counting on Portugal to break free from them. And this is causing, I think, the last coalition to dissolve. There was just some minus over here. Of course, England finally broke alliance with us. That's because of aggressive expansion, but this is fine. This is fine. Now I can just go and eat those countries in Europe one by one to finally slow the world conquest. Okay guys, truce break number 1 against Portugal, because they are fighting Spain for the independence. Truce break to save as much stability as possible. Mr. France, as I did all the truce break we wanted to, I get the stab cost advisor, stab once, twice, thrice, 4, 5 times. So I started colonizing the provinces here. Yes, we've got the Great Horde achievement after all this time, and we are getting really close to conquer everything. Good night, Mr. France. Good night. That gave us another colony in the New World, and the biggest pain in the ass is gonna get the freaking natives down. It's time to unite Islam. I did not rush it much because Constantinople costed a lot as a capital, and I don't really need bonuses to missionary strength. Maybe stab cost would be of use, but I do not complain about lack of admin points thanks to all the raising. So unify Islam, that's changed our name to the Caliphate, gave us some bonuses, and that's pretty much it. Now you know what is the worst about all those tiny natives? Even if I fully annex them, let's say these guys, they'll just move next by, and I'll have to keep fighting them until we have no province to run away to, which doesn't make any sense, and it's gonna prolong our world conquest a little bit. You know, I decided screw it. They kept moving, so instead of trying to annex them, I decided to vassalize all of these small little natives. And right now we are pretty much left with a few in Australia, New Zealand and Oceania. With those, we are completely done. While I'm about to finish the campaign, I accidentally got an achievement, which is Spice Girls. Having a female ruler have active trading bonus of cloves, spices, salt and sugar, and this is just luck because I got consort on my throne. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished our world conquest with 30 vassals to avoid these freaking annoying natives from spreading to other provinces. We did, I don't know, like 50 or even 100 truce breaks, but each truce break was just stabbing up from -3 to -2 for 30 points, so it costed me nothing. You can see I still have plenty of admin mana, and honestly guys, that's the last time for a long time I'm doing freaking world conquest, especially this kind of the world conquest, because I spent like 30 hours doing it. That's why you had to wait 4 weeks for me to finish this campaign. And also as a few comments, this could be done far quicker. A few things. Oyrat, of course, is far stronger and quicker than Golden Horde, but even if you did it as Golden Horde, do not form Mongal Empire, because that's the end game tag, which means that I couldn't form other nations for additional admin efficiency and, most importantly, co-creation cost bonuses that decrease the covering time and let me not really care about the amount of overextension. Here I had to care about it. That's what slowed me down a lot, but still I think with the bonuses that I used and bonuses that I had, 1639 is fairly decent, and maybe in the future we'll do it far quicker. But for now, give me a break, and if you guys enjoyed this campaign and how I suffered, remember to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to get notified about the future content. Bye!